a couple times, but he stayed with it, man. He's been very persistent, and you talk about a tough man who's been through a lot of adversity. He's overcame it, and I think right now he's just hitting his stride. Like watching him this last week versus the Chargers, seeing how effective he was, not only in the passing game but also in the running game. Seeing him play with power, right? Seeing him change the game for us on special teams, like that was our vision when we decided to sign DeMeco, and he's a big time player for us. And when he's healthy, when he's on, like he's a lot to deal with. And you throw him in the mix with our other guys, makes us a very tough front. So really proud of Danico just for him continuing to persevere through all the ups and downs of the season to be at this point right now, to be at his best when we need his best. It's really great to see him come through.
For teams to remain in contention this late in the season, they obviously have to have a lot of good qualities. What do you think is the most important quality that has gotten your team to this point?
The most important quality for our team is perseverance. We've had some ups and downs throughout the year, and we went through some difficult times, where again everybody was not believing in us, which is good. You had that adversity from the outside. We were trying to, on the inside, make sure we're doing things the right way, playing the right way. Games didn't go our way all the time. Like we've been in tough games, we had tough losses, we've had wins at the last minute. So we're battle tested as a team, and I think that's hardened us to be exactly in this spot for that reason. Like we're battle tested, and we're ready to go to battle against anyone, any type of way the game can go. We've been there. We unfortunately we've been on the downside, we've been on the upside, so we know what it takes to win, and that's what I love about our team. Like we've learned a lot of lessons throughout the season. We've grown closer together as a team, and I wouldn't want to be with any other group.
Beyond the play you laid out last week when you said our defensive line has to win this battle. What did they do so well? So many players mentioned playing with a physical style and letting them feel your physical presence. What did they do against the Chargers? How do they repeat that against the Chiefs, who can not only pass it, but obviously can hurt you with the run game?
For us to play well every week, it's going to start with our D-line. It's going to start with our offensive line. That's the challenge right now here in the playoffs. Like for us to win a game, we have to win up front. It'll always start there. So if we come out of this game and we can say our offensive line and our defensive line, right, control the line of scrimmage, they play physical, right, and they dictated the tempo of this game, and we'll come out on top victorious. But it all starts up front, and that won't change.
Can you talk about Foley a little bit? You mentioned about the guys up front. He's missed some time, but stepping in and to be so effective, like right off the bat. Can you talk about him, what he brings?
Foley's another guy similar to Autry. He had some up and down moments throughout the year, dealing with injuries, but he worked in the background when no one else was watching. He was working to get himself back healthy, to help our team. And as soon as he gets back out, you instantly see the impact he has when it comes to, first and foremost, the run game. Like we talk about playing physical up front in the run game. Like he made a nice third down stop versus the Chargers just because of his physicality on the interior of the D-line. And, we've been missing that, and that helps when you can have a guy play stout, play physical as Foley plays. It helps us to play really good run defense, and that's always the number one key. When we line up, we have to stop the run to make teams one-dimensional, and having Foley has been a huge reason to why we were able to play good run defense last week.
Beyond the play that CJ made that, as you said, helped spark the team, it seemed like also beyond that, him and Bobby really in sync with the quick passing plays. How vital would it be to continue that progression of, executing the quick, short passes? Teams have tried to take away the explosives, and obviously there's a bunch of stuff underneath. How vital would it be to continue that into this week against the Chiefs?
Offensively, we just have to continue to play efficient. And when it comes to the quick passing, right, getting the ball out, getting completions, allowing our playmakers to make plays, that's part of being efficient. And that helped us last week. It'll also be a key this week as well. Not only the quick passing game, but also running the football. You want to play well in the playoffs, you have to run the ball well. So both of those will be key for us. And CJ's just commanding the offense, right? We know it's going to be loud. We know it's going to be rowdy there, so we have to be great with our communication. Everybody has to be very attentive in the huddle, making sure we're getting in and out of the huddle fast to make sure we're operating efficiently all the way across the board. When we do that, we're a really good offense.
What are the challenges with warm weather or indoor teams playing in cold weather this time of the year?
The weather can be a challenge if you allow it to be a challenge. For me and for our guys, like, it's something we can't control. You don't control the weather, right? Wherever we have to play, we're ready to go play. We understand we'll be on the road. It's going to be cold. That's what we have to deal with, and it's not a challenge for us. It's just something the other team has to deal with as well. So we're ready to go. There's no excuses about weather. We got to go suit up and we got to go play ball.
What goes into your interaction before and during the game with the officiating crew? Is there things that you want to get clarified with them ahead of time? Do you maybe give them a heads up on, hey, this is happening, how I see it? What kind of that relationship, head coach to officiating crew?
When it comes to the officiating crew, we meet prior to the game, right? They'll come in and they'll ask if I have any questions on anything that I've seen on film from the other team. They'll give me feedback from anything that they've seen that possibly that we're doing that we need to correct. So it's been really great communication with the officials, just making sure you're on the same page before you go in. The simple things, you have anybody reporting, captains, all the standard things you go over, but mainly just to answer, they're available to answer any questions that I may have prior to the game. And our officials done a great job of communicating right during the game as well. So the guys been doing a great job of just keeping the lines of communication open. Anytime we have questions during the game, the head ref, he's available and he's ready to come over at any time to answer. So our refs has been doing a good job.
DeMeco, how much, I mean, this is Bobby's second turn going against KC's defense. How much will he sort of tap into you, with you being a defensive mind, of maybe trying to, okay, I know what Spags done to us back in December. He might come back to you and just say, maybe try to get inside, and trying to come up with that DNA to try to figure out what happened to him the last time won't happen this time.
When you go against a team for a second time, there's always that chess match of, we know they're going to bring some type of pressure. You don't know what it's going to be, right? You just have to make sure we are executing our rules. We're playing with the proper fundamentals, and we're on it, mentally. That's what this game will be about. If we're on it mentally, we'll be able to handle whatever they bring. We know they're going to pressure us, and we just have to operate efficiently on offense and make the right reads, make the right throws, make the right decisions whenever pressure is presented.
As a coach, I know like the season can I guess fly by, but how much do you, as a coach, especially like this winter go home and things can stop pretty quickly, how much do you just take time to enjoy those meetings and those practices? How much do you kind of take time to actually just enjoy the moment, when things I imagine can go by pretty quickly?
Yeah. Every day is a great day. I enjoy every moment, right? Every meeting, every opportunity I get to spend, with our guys. I enjoy every day, and I implore everybody to enjoy every day, right? That's what we have right now today. So be present, be where your feet are, enjoy the fact that we're one of 4 teams in the AFC still working, right? And still have an opportunity to go reach the goal that everyone, when you start off in training camp, the goal that everyone wants to do is you want to get to the end. And, we're still here, we're still fighting, we're still competing for that. And I'm always thankful, grateful to be in this moment, excited about it, excited about the guys I get to work with to go do it with. So it's a blessing each and every day, man. I never take that for granted.
There's been a couple instances of messages from Aziz that have really sunk in with everyone since he's returned from suspension. Just what impact has his leadership had since he's come back, and also what's the impact of having him against the Chiefs after not having him the first time?
Yeah, Aziz has been a great vocal leader. He always shares a great message. He's great at articulating those messages to the players, and the players are very attentive when Aziz is talking, right? When Aziz talks to the team, it always comes from the heart. It's heartfelt, it's sincere, and you can tell how much he cares about the guys just with his messages. So I know it resonates with the guys, and that's what a team is about, right? When your team leaders are standing up giving the messages, they go a lot further than what I have to say because they know my messages don't change. It's the same thing from when we started in training camp to now. Like, we're going to be consistent in messaging from me and what I expect of our guys because I believe in winning. It takes a certain way to win games, and that doesn't change right from day one to where we are now. So really thankful for Aziz and his leadership, thankful for CJ, Will, the guys who step up and lead when it comes to being vocal leaders. Like, you need that. You need guys to do it the right way, but at times players need to hear from each other, and it means a lot more when they do that. So we have a lot of guys who aren't afraid to speak up and speak their mind to each other and pour out their hearts to each other.
We talk often about Sting and about camaraderie and the kind of seasons they've had, but how rare is it to have a rookie safety like Kalen Bullock be able to get the football the way he does, and also looks like he's improved the tackling as the years gone on?
He's done a great job. To see a young player like him continue to ascend and get better, it's pretty cool to watch. And anytime the football goes up, I'm looking on the sideline like, man, did they try him again? But he has that knack for the ball. It's something you can't coach. Some guys naturally just find the football, and Kalen is one of those guys. Now, he has to make sure he gets it. But he's done a great job of improving his tackling. Him being back in a deep part of the field, tackling is the most important piece for us, right? Getting the ball is one thing, but if something breaks down, he has to be the guy to erase the play and get guys down. And I feel like he's grown throughout the year in his tackling. So excited with his growth.
Tank was obviously one of the more popular, probably top 3 popular guy on the team. What it just kind of mean to have him on the sideline against the Chargers and just seeing your team, most of them wearing Tank t-shirts before the game?
Tank means a lot to our team. As you see with the guys, seeing him on the sideline, seeing the t-shirts, it's real love, right? And everybody loves Tank, and I love Tank. We miss him. We miss Steph. We miss all of our guys. Brevin. We miss all of our guys that can't be out there battling with us, right? Because we truly care for one another. So it's cool to see the shirts. They didn't give me a shirt though. Yeah, I got it. What's going on now? But it's yeah, we got a lot of love for Tank, man, and we're wishing him a speedy recovery. All right, get it. Good. All right. Thank you, Kim.
be the first team that's ever here that has ever got to the AFC Championship game?
Man, that'd be huge, I didn't know that, but I think that'll be a huge accomplishment, and, this team are really motivated to, go up there and play some good ball, and, a great Kansas City team was been in these moments forever, so, it's gonna take all of us, it's gonna take a lot of, execution and, get that done, so we gotta be on our A game.
CJ, how fun are these moments? It was not that many years ago you were in high school and college watching the Patrick Mahomes. Now you'll be out there competing against the Chiefs in a big-time game.
Yeah, it's moments you dream of. You watch them, like you said, growing up and dreaming of the moments to be sharing that field or be competing in those moments. So, I'm very excited and, ready to roll. But, got to have a good week of preparation. But, yeah, definitely excited for it.
CJ, what do you do when you're facing a team, especially outside the division for the second time, so close together? Is it helpful? Do you look back at it, or you just try to look forward? How do you approach that?
Yeah, you definitely got to go back and, see, things that work, things that didn't work, and I think that definitely helps playing them so recently, but, they also have that advantage as well. So, we got to be able to, still have a new game plan and do things that are, new. And, but, yeah, it definitely does help to see a familiar team again. And, they do a lot of great things. And, we didn't really see a whole bunch of it. I think it was the exotic things, so, I wouldn't be surprised if that stuff started to show up. So, yeah, but it definitely does help that we've seen them not too long ago.
You guys have talked quite a bit about how close you guys are. When you guys get to this stage, obviously execution is its own thing, but just to be on the same page, the same mindset, walking in the same direction together, how important is that this time of year?
It's huge, it's, now you think about it's only 8 teams left, and it seems like you're like lonely at practice. Not saying like you ever worried about anybody else, but you always knew other teams were practicing. Now it's only, was that 7 other teams. So, it's kind of unique. It feels a little weird, but it kind of feels like when you're in youth ball and you play all the way to like Thanksgiving, because you usually don't play that long, unless you make it to the championship. So kind of how it feels, and it's cool because, we get another week to hang out with one another and, go spend time with one another off the field, and, I think that definitely would be nice. But these type of games is about who stays tight-knit because, crazy things happen in the playoffs. Just like last game, crazy things happen. Whoever can, gel together usually is the ones to win. So.
Joe Mixon's had a fantastic year. Can you describe what this season's been like, watching him have that success and the bond you guys have personally built?
Yeah, Joe has been, doing great. Been, helpful to all of us. Making our linemen right, but our linemen have been doing a great job in the run game. Giving him the opportunities, and he takes them every time. So it's been cool to watch. Sometimes I just hand it off and watch him go to work. So it's nice to have that. And not have a whole bunch on my plate all the time. And, but yeah, even when our run game isn't working, I know he leans on me. So it's just playing off one another, playing complementary football. But it's very helpful to have somebody like Joe.
How about personally, away from this and the relationship you guys have built?
Yeah, me and him are very close. And come from a similar, like West Coast stereotypical background, and love being from the West Coast, and definitely bond off of that. So, we definitely he gives me a lot of advice, not only on the field but off as well. So.
CJ, last time you all were in Kansas City, Tank had the injury. It was very emotional for you all, but you all had basically tied the game up, with that touchdown. How important is it for you all to get back there, to get past that emotional aspect of it, and play the game that you all were playing during that time?
Yeah, it's it's an emotional sport we play, especially when you be with somebody for so long. You see how hard they work, how much they love the game, and to see Tank go out like that was very tough. And I think even seeing him this weekend at the game and in better spirits, smiling again, gave us like a boost of energy. So. Now we got to go do it for him away, and in the same stadium he got hurt. But, we got to find a way not to get emotional and to channel that. And I think we'll be able to do that and, just be more inspired than anything and try to get it done for him.
Knowing that you guys are going to play at some really cold temperatures, do you do anything throughout the week? I mean, I think Belichick famously froze footballs or, anything like that to prepare yourself, or you just know what's up?
No, I don't really have nothing on my sleeve, but that's kind of one of the reasons I went to Ohio State was to play in the cold and to get used to that. So, I played in cold weather games before. It's,
it's different, but it's better than playing when it's wet. So, and then it snows, which is better than if it rains. So, yeah, I'm kind of used to them, but at the same time, we really don't play in the cold here, but definitely have been trained by it in college.
Who kind of came up with the T-shirts and just to pass it around before the game with the tank on it, and how cool was that moment just to have everybody rocking that tank T-shirt?
Yeah, it's kind of I don't like it, but I mean I like that, but it reminds me of like the funeral shirts, and that's kind of what we do back home. Is like, but I'd rather be there for somebody than rather just wear a T-shirt. So, but I don't mind wearing the shirt. But I think our EQ gets them for us, and it's a good way to remember somebody for that year. But I don't want them to ever think like they just on the shirt. Like I actually do check up on my guys who aren't playing no more. Care for them more than just wearing a T-shirt. So, but they're dope. It's a good way. I hope they like it. But I think I don't know if I want to be all up on a shirt. But no, I think it's amazing that we do that and everybody shows respect to that person who is out for the rest of the year. But thank God they're not on the other side.
To Hutchinson on the snap, multiple guys said that kind of felt like the turning point, and you kind of just see like the energy pick up. Could you feel that, and why do you think that was, if it was the case?
Yeah, I kind of answered that. I don't really want to go back. It was a crazy play. It was a great job by Hutch, but I continue to run, and I try to do my best to salvage the play. But it's ball, and that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Not how you start, it's how you finish, like I said, and things like that spark energy. Execution sparks energy. Plays spark energy. So those things are definitely helpful.
CJ, when you were growing up, did you watch a lot of like playoff football? And are there any games that really stuck out to you and you thought maybe one day I could be like this guy? Is that anything that you have in your head?
Yeah, I definitely looked up to a lot of guys growing up, and watched these type of games growing up, and I remember watching Houston play in Kansas City some years back and went up early, and then they ended up coming back, So, and I'm not saying that's how it's gonna go, but remember watching that one. Remember watching all the AFC championships with Burrow and Mahomes, and watched the one with Josh Allen and Mahomes. All those great games. So, I've always wanted to be in these type of moments, which is amazing. I'm able to do it in year 2 again. So I'm definitely not taking it for granted, and definitely going to try to earn my op and try to run with it. So,
CJ, looking back at the tape, what do you think you guys kind of captured offensively to kind of get back to the way you'd like to play that you can carry over to this week against Kansas City?
Just execution, just owning the little things, and finally we've been able to get some practice with some guys, because we didn't really have all these guys in training camp or OTAs. So now we're able to get some guys in that we've been here for a couple weeks now, and moving guys up from practice squad to get more time in the reps down. So that showed in the last game. So we try to take that over, just execution. Yeah.
Do you get a chance now to watch any other football? I know you're focused on getting ready for this game. Are you watching any other games right now?
Yeah, I watched all the games this weekend. I watched Jaden. He played amazing. Got his first playoff win. So I'm super proud of him. Super happy for him. I watched a little bit of Bill's game. Took a nap during it, but it was a good game. Josh Allen played great. I thought Bo played good too. What other games was there? I watched the game last night. Yeah, I watched it this weekend. Yes.
CJ, you mentioned after the game the message that Aziz had about the impact of the team, impacting everybody else in the organization. His messaging has come up a couple of times since he's come back from his suspension. Just how have you felt his leadership has affected the team since he's come back, and kind of what impact do you think he has, playing against this Chiefs game when you guys didn't have him last game?
Yeah, it's huge. He's been a leader since the day one. So like that's the first thing and foremost is. He's always been a leader, and just because he was out doesn't mean he was even leading. He was leading even when he was out. So, I think just in life, until you make a mistake, you can't gain wisdom. So, when you're on the stage, you make mistakes, and you're held to your actions, and you learn from them and you move on. And one thing I'm happy for him, he's not living any guilt, any shame, and I'm proud of him for that, for just coming back and just playing really good. And he played great on Saturday. We need him to play great again. He knows that. So his wisdom and his leadership and the ups and downs he's been in his life, you know, and the shoes. I mean, the shoes that he like. I mean, the background he has, you know, that he grew up. A lot of people don't know Aziz's story. Like Aziz don't really come from much, and you look at somebody like him who was the oldest out of a lot of kids in his family. He's had to take care of a lot of his siblings. It ain't been easy, you know. So you make mistakes, you know what I mean, and it's all about how you answer it, you know, no matter what the mistake is. So, you know, I'm very proud of him, and you know, he's going to be huge for us.
CJ, I know you mentioned obviously you prefer to stay in the pocket, but what impact do you feel like using your legs last game had on helping out the offense? And talking to Joe, he mentioned that he's had conversations with you about wanting you to use your legs more. What do you remember about some of those conversations?
Yeah, you know, he's been talking to me about that for a long time, and I feel like I've been able to kind of do that this year. You know, throughout the year, I think I ran for like 60 yards against the Jets. It was like probably my career high, which I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, it's not something I've ever been opposed of. It's just I think I'm elite at throwing the ball in the pocket, but I have been able to extend plays this year, and you know, I think that's a good thing for us. And when it's need be, you know, it's not something that I'm just looking for all the time, but definitely is something that I think can help us get an edge on the team. And yeah, I'm more than able and more than capable, and yeah.
Do you feel like you surprised like the Chargers a little bit when you got out the pocket and took off like that? Do you feel like
Not really. You know, they kind of have shown those looks throughout the week. It was one third down. Actually, the one I threw the interception on. You know, I looked and I was like, dang, like there's a wide open. There's nobody accounting for me. You know, and I looked at it on the iPad, and you know, that's learning moments right there. I'm still learning. You know, like year two for me. Think I'm ahead of a lot of things, but I'm definitely not perfect. I don't think I ever will be. So I'm always willing to learn, make mistakes, and learn from them. So I'm glad I was able to learn from that and see that look and, you know, take it off from there. So, yeah.
last one, sir?
CJ, one of the highest attributes that you've been given is your football IQ. How much of playing against this Kansas City Chiefs team in Week 16 will you be able to use heading into this division game?
It's huge, man. You know, their DC, you know, he's amazing. He does a lot of great blitz packages and plays a lot of sound coverage, you know, bend don't break type of defense, you know, but they make a lot of plays. They attack the football, you know, and they're playing at a high level. You know, they've been able to uphold their team a lot this year, you know, and keep the games close, you know, and you know, it starts up front with Chris Jones, amazing player, you know, and then Nick Bolden, great player. The whole linebacker team communicates very well. You know, Reed in the back doing his thing, and then, you know, McDuffie, I think, is, like I told y'all before, one of the best corners in the league in my opinion, and plays nickel too. So, you know, they do a lot of great things, and, you know, their coaches know how to put them in positions to, you know, execute at a high level. So, you know, we got to be on our A game and try to do our best to, you know, withstand the surge early on and, you know, chop wood, carry water throughout the game. All right, you guys, have a great one.